You are standing at the admissions desk, and your spouse has just been placed in a nursing home. The contract they hand you says $96,000 a year. You feel your stomach drop. Most families panic at that moment. They assume their only option is to drain the bank accounts, sell the house, and just hope for the best. But here's the truth. Medicaid has rules. And hidden in those rules are perfectly legal, perfectly ethical strategies that can help your family keep more of what you've worked so hard to build. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest mistakes that cost families everything, and my exact 3-bucket strategy that can save you tens of thousands of dollars. Plus, I'll give you the precise timing that makes the difference between keeping your wealth and watching it disappear. And to give you a heads up, I'm a fiduciary financial advisor, not an attorney. Nothing in this video is legal advice. Use it to have a smarter conversation with your elder law lawyer. Before we go any further, let's talk about what not to do, because I see these costly mistakes all the time. Some families immediately cash out large IRAs to pay for care. That might seem logical, but it triggers huge tax bills and pushes them way over Medicaid's asset limits. Others start gifting $10,000 checks to kids without realizing they just tripped the Medicaid penalty rules that could leave them uncovered for months. And many simply start writing $8,000 a month checks to the nursing home until the money is gone, because they didn't know there was another way. If any of that sounds familiar, you are not alone. But here's the thing. Medicaid isn't trying to bankrupt families. The program actually has built-in strategies that let you protect assets legally. You just need to know the 3 buckets, a framework I call the 3-bucket strategy. Think of asset protection like organizing your finances into 3 strategic buckets. Each has its own rules, but together they're incredibly powerful. Bucket 1 is what I call lifestyle safety upgrades. Most people don't realize Medicaid doesn't count your primary residence, one vehicle, or household items. Think of these as life raft purchases, smart spending that keeps you afloat while protecting assets. Instead of watching savings disappear, you can turn that money into things your family actually needs. Got a mortgage balance hanging over you? A leaky roof that's begging for a replacement? Maybe your spouse is still living at home and needs a safer bathroom. Think walk-in showers, grab bars, non-slip floors. High-interest credit cards or personal loans weighing you down. Pay them off. You can even prepay for a funeral, right down to the flowers and headstone. Need new furniture or a reliable washer-dryer set? That counts. Medicaid won't penalize you for upgrading your quality of life. When done right, these aren't just legal spend-downs. They are quality of life upgrades that double as strategic asset protection. It's one of those rare moments where protecting money and making life better go hand in hand. For example, imagine you and your spouse are facing a nursing home admission. You saved diligently and now have around $500,000 in extra assets after your spouse qualifies for care. Instead of spending it down at $8,000 a month, you decide to be strategic. You use a portion to pay off your $98,000 mortgage. Replace your aging car with a reliable hybrid SUV and update the bathroom to make it safer for your spouse at home. The result? Your spouse qualifies for Medicaid faster, and you've used your money to protect your home and improve your lifestyle, instead of watching it disappear into care bills. But if you are applying as a single person, be careful. Some states place a home equity cap on your primary residence, usually between $730,000 and just over $1 million. Go over that limit and Medicaid could disqualify your home as an exempt asset. Bucket 2 is income engine. This next approach surprises a lot of people. In some cases, you can take assets that Medicaid would normally count and convert them into an income stream that's exempt under the rules. Let's say your spouse needs care, but you are still living at home. Instead of draining your savings, those assets could be repositioned into a Medicaid-compliant annuity that pays you monthly income, which Medicaid doesn't count as an asset. And in states where IRAs are considered countable assets, there are ways to roll them into annuities that follow the same rules. This is exactly the kind of move families make when they use a portion of their assets to create income for the healthy spouse instead of letting it vanish through monthly nursing home bills. But here's the key. This strategy has to be structured exactly right. The contract terms, payout schedule, and even the beneficiary designations need to be compliant. This is where working with your financial advisor and an elder law attorney is absolutely essential, and something we help clients prepare for. One wrong clause can blow up the whole strategy. And here's one more tip. If you're single and you've made a gift that triggers a Medicaid penalty period, a short-term annuity can help cover during that window. It's a way to generate income just long enough to get through the uncovered period so you don't leave yourself financially exposed. Bucket 3 is family first transfers. Most people know gifting can cause Medicaid penalties, but what they don't know is that some gifts are exempt. Federal law actually builds in powerful exemptions that most families never hear about. You can transfer unlimited assets to your spouse, no questions asked. If you have a disabled child on SSI or SSDI, you can give to them without a penalty. And if your child lived with and cared for you for 2 years before nursing home admission, you may be able to deed them the house without penalty. That's called the caregiver exemption. It's designed to reward family members who put their own lives on hold to help you stay at home longer. There's also a sibling exemption. If a sibling co-owns and lives in the home and has done so for at least 1 year before the applicant enters the facility, the house can be transferred without penalty. Here's what that can look like. Let's say you've been living with your sibling in the family home for years and you already own 30% of it. When he needs long-term care, you worry the house might have to be sold. But under the sibling exemption, you are able to legally transfer the remaining 70% to yourself without penalty. You later sell the home and use the proceeds to support his remaining care costs. No transfer penalties, no spend down, just peace of mind that your family's equity stayed in the family. Quick heads up. If you are thinking about paying a family member to help with caregiving, that can be okay, but only if you have a written agreement and handle payroll taxes properly. Otherwise, Medicaid could treat those payments as disqualifying gifts. These aren't tricks or loopholes. They are intentional exemptions built into federal law to keep families from being wiped out. If you are watching this and thinking, this applies to my family, don't wait until you're in a crisis. Book your 45-minute Medicaid strategy session using the link below. We'll map out every account, every liability, and every legacy goal. Plus, we'll help you identify which strategies might fit your situation, and then coordinate with an elder law attorney to get everything implemented the right way. No pitch, no pressure, just clear answers and a path forward. Now, let me level with you, because even great strategies can go sideways if the timing is off. There is something called the snapshot date. That's the first day of a stay that ultimately lasts 30 consecutive days or more. Medicaid uses that date to determine what your loved one owns and what the healthy spouse is allowed to keep. If you spend down before that date, you might be wasting effort, or worse, triggering penalties. I've seen families make big financial moves during a short rehab stay, only for their loved one to come home and unknowingly reset the entire Medicaid timeline. Here's something counterintuitive. If you cut it too close and leave just $20 over the asset limit, a small interest payment could blow up your eligibility. We aim to make sure you stay at least several $100s under the cap, not just $20 over, because even a small deposit can cause a delay or denial. That little cushion can make a big difference. And a quick tip. If you deposit money but withdraw it within 30 days, like a short-term transfer, it may be treated as income, not a countable asset. That distinction matters. And documentation matters too. Medicaid can ask for 5 years of financial history. We usually recommend 6, just to be safe. This isn't about hiding anything. It's about controlling the narrative and showing complete transparency from day one. Better to over-prepare than to scramble under pressure. But remember, Medicaid is a federal program, but states have flexibility. Some are actually more generous than the federal minimum. Knowing your specific state's rules can unlock even more options. At the end of the day, Medicaid isn't a handout. It's a rule book. Families who understand those rules can preserve their legacies. Families who don't, they end up watching everything they've built disappear, slowly and silently, to long-term care costs. You don't have to lose everything to long-term care costs, but you do need the right team to navigate the system. The strategies you just heard can help during a crisis, but if you wait until a crisis, you've already lost options. In this video, I'll show you 5 trusts that can lock in protection while you are still healthy, so your home, savings, and legacy stay secure, no matter what happens next.